Good evening and welcome to the Japanese American National Museum's 2026 Gala and Online Auction. Please welcome our host for this evening, the award-winning anchor of LA's #1 morning news show and longtime supporter of the Japanese American National Museum, Frank Buckley.
Nice to get a standing ovation. Thank you very much. Please be seated. Again, very nice, but please be seated. Good evening, everyone. Konbanwa. I'm Frank Buckley. Thank you for being here tonight as we gather to celebrate our treasured Japanese American National Museum. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. It is an honor to once again be your MC tonight. We're here to celebrate JANM and its extraordinary impact. Tonight you're going to hear how JANM works at the very forefront of democracy, social justice, and community resilience. You'll hear some exciting updates about the museum's historic campaign and major renovation. You'll also have a chance to make a major difference as we invite you to support JANM's signature Bid for Education program, which supports over 10,000 students to attend and experience immersive learning at JANM and carry our history forward to the next generation. The work matters deeply, as you know, and tonight we're here to make sure the learning continues, so we ask you to be ready to make your bid for world-class education. This is such a beautiful evening. It is always good to see so many friends and David Ono. I just ran into him backstage and oof, I'll never get those 5 minutes back. Oh, I see some of you turning to your table mates and saying, who is he talking about? Who is David Ono? He's an anchor on a local station that you probably haven't seen. The truth is, many of us are so proud of him for overcoming his many shortcomings to become the #2 anchor in Los Angeles. I know we have many people here for whom Japanese is their primary language, so let me try to explain to them. Ono David さんは、ごめんなさい。日本語でどういうふうに言うんだっけ？ロスの#2 アンカー。2番です。2番。I actually have a great respect for David, and I love my fellow JA, David Ono. Not as much as David Ono loves David Ono, as you'll hear soon, but you'll look forward to hearing from him tonight. I'm sure he'll have one or two things to say about me as well. Tonight we will honor extraordinary individuals whose work makes a lasting impact. I'm personally so excited that we'll be honoring actor, activist, and longtime friend of the JA community, Tamlyn Tomita, who will join us on stage. We're also excited to honor an equally exceptional team of individuals, a big surprise honoree, and I can't wait to reveal the best kept secret of the evening in just a short while. I can't tell you how much excitement and energy this room will experience tonight. And what better way to celebrate the work of JANM, its unwavering commitment to promoting a more just future than be inspired by a very incredible special performance by Davis Gaines, the lead singer of the Andrew Lloyd Webber Phantom of the Opera. We're going to enjoy that. So once again, welcome to the 2026 Gala for Japanese American National Museum. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. And most importantly, thank you for being ready to have a wonderful evening. Before we bring up our first guest, many of you know that JANM's online auction is very famous for its unique, exclusive, wide-ranging items. If you're looking for a memorable vacation or outing, we've got those. How about an Alaska fishing adventure for two, or a Dodgers game complete with game-ready merch? How about going high with a ride on the Goodyear blimp? You can't buy a blimp ride ticket. You have to win it, and JANM is one of the recognized nonprofits that offers this opportunity to see LA from thousands of feet up in the sky. Plenty of gorgeous decor, food, whiskey, wine, and much more. You can also put in a bid to join me for a behind-the-scenes view of the #1 local morning news, the KTLA 5 Morning News, as we are live interviewing newsmakers and celebrities. If you have a future broadcaster in your family, it's a great chance to join us for a live news broadcast. So scan the QR codes in your booklet, check out the auction section, and start bidding. The silent auction closes tomorrow at noon Pacific time, so don't let the good stuff get away. All right, are you ready to party? Please welcome the chair of the Board of Trustees, Bill Fujioka.
Good evening. Before I start my comments, well, first I want to welcome you to the Japanese American Museum Annual Gala. Before I start my comments, please join me in thanking the JW Marriott staff for their support and services. Last year I stated that JANM was at a critical point in time due to our closure for renovation and the actions of the current administration that threatened our existence because of our commitment to social justice, diversity, equity, and inclusion. First, the renovation's going great. All of you will be invited to a reopening. We'll be announcing that date shortly. Most importantly, despite the fact that museums and nonprofits and other institutions were literally scrubbing their websites of any reference to diversity, equity, and inclusion due to the fear of losing federal funding and possible litigation, JANM stood strong, and we proudly stated, we will scrub nothing. I think everyone knows that our scrub nothing stance has made JANM's voice, our influence, and our impact stronger than ever. Scrub nothing has become a hashtag, which allowed us to share both the struggles and accomplishments of our community to a worldwide audience. More so than ever, JANM is viewed as a beacon of democracy and a place of hope, resolve, and purpose. That's it. Please, tonight we're joined by Consul General of Japan, Kosei Moroto, Deputy Consul, the first female Deputy Consul in Los Angeles, Naoko Kamatani, Senator Maria Elena Durasso, Assembly Member Al Marasucci, Assembly Member Mike Fong, Council Member Isabel Gerardo. Amongst you, we're also joined by many members of JANM's Board of Trustees and Governors. Their commitment and support of JANM is extraordinary, folks. It's important to note that our Scrub Nothing campaign was initiated by the Board of Trustees. Despite the potential consequences, our board embraced the importance of standing true to our mission and standing up for the legacy of our community. Our honorees tonight, as Frank said, David's cousin. Our honorees tonight are Tamlyn Tomita and Rachel Maddow. Miss Tomita, did I blow a surprise? But anyway, Miss Tomita is being honored for a steadfast and passionate commitment to both JANM and the Japanese American community. Although she's had many successes as a very accomplished actor, it's her commitment to our community that is even more exceptional. At every major event and challenge, Ms. Tomita is at the front lines to support our community. Next, we're honoring Rachel Maddow, a prominent commentator, author, host, and whose show and podcast has a very large and diverse audience. She recently had a 6-episode podcast. Please go online and listen to it, on the forced removal and incarceration of over 120,000 individuals of Japanese heritage. Her national and international platform placed a spotlight on the injustices of our community faced in 1942. Many of our listeners probably heard our community story for the first time. This, her message, her podcast, is consistent with our mission and is truly a gift to our community. In addition, and most importantly for me, it's important to recognize and honor JANM's frontline champion. That's our staff and our volunteers. Everything, and I mean everything that happens at JANM, today and in the future, is achieved due to the efforts and dedication of our staff and our volunteers. As I stated, this past year presented many challenges. The primary goal was to keep JANM's programs and services viable during the renovation, and most importantly, the external pressures. Our staff met this goal with resounding success and pride. Everyone from the front desk to the corner office contributes to the success of our programs, services, and mission. If I had time, I would name and recognize each and every 68 employees who make JANM a special organization. Regardless of job title or function, each and every JANM staff member has contributed equally to our success. Most are here tonight to support this event and show their pride in being part of the JANM family. We also recognize and thank the JANM volunteers. a number of survivors of the concentration camps, and continue to be our inspiration. Some volunteers have been part of JANM from the point when it was only a dream. Their personal time and resources strengthen our mission and help provide the foundation for our success. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking, in recognizing, and celebrating our staff and volunteers. Last year, we stood strong and proudly stated we would scrub nothing. Remember the t-shirt. Now our rally cry is JANM Strong. Our actions, programs, and voice are more important than ever, but we can't stop now. We have not reached the plateau, folks. We must embrace this opportunity to further grow our advocacy and our impact. But please understand, we wouldn't be here tonight without each one of you. Your belief in our mission has helped the museum stand proud during this difficult time and into the future. With your support, we'll continue to honor the legacy of those that came before us and ensure that future generations know the struggles, sacrifices, and contributions of our community. JANM will always continue to be a beacon and advocate for civil rights, social justice, democracy, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Please, thank you for everything. Now, please enjoy the year in review video. I think that's gonna queue up right now. So enjoy the interview. The video, I'll be right back.
JANM's mission is to promote the understanding and appreciation of America's ethnic and cultural diversity by sharing the Japanese American experience. The promise of our founders was that the museum would stand as a bastion of civil rights to ensure that what happened to Japanese Americans would never happen to any other group. This is the JANM that our country needs, and this is the JANM that we promise to deliver.
It's something that we are familiar with, and it's something we can interact with, so it's fun just to come here and relax.
Really get to appreciate who we are today, and I wanted to share that with my kids to learn and remember their history. So it was really nice.
The HO is the first comprehensive list that we have of everyone who was incarcerated during World War II for their Japanese ancestry. Over 32,000 visitors have come to stamp over 90,000 names.
It feels heavy knowing the trauma that they went through. It's a very heavy feeling, and seeing so many names and how big the book is just is heartbreaking for me.
And just the idea that the donors stepped up so quickly to make this possible and to still run this. I think of it like a ripple in a pond, and then you throw this donor, and the benefits of it are going to go much beyond what we experience this weekend to our students next year and all the years beyond that.
My guest tonight is Robert A. Nakamura. Mr. Nakamura, what is your secret of success?
A central piece of the fellowship is to strengthen the ties between the US and Japan, and that is needed now more than ever.
Now we're fighting for our democracy. I don't want to over-dramatize it, but our democracy, our democratic institutions, our democratic pillars, they're being stress tested.
It is incumbent on us to look out at the people struggling and ask ourselves, how can I support them and how can I go further?
Now it's my great honor to introduce our President and CEO, Ann Burroughs. Most of you know Ann's passion as a champion for justice and equality. During this crazy time, she's been the perfect leader for JANM. If you know anything about her, or if you don't, take the time and Google her. You'll find out that what we're involved with right now is her life's work. JANM is blessed to have Ann as our leader. So ladies and gentlemen, Ann Burroughs.
Good evening, honored guests. Well, I can't see you because there's too much light in my eyes, but I know that the room is full, and it's just wonderful to have you here. And you know, it's just wonderful that you've come to be with us tonight, because tonight really is a celebration. It's a celebration of community, it's a celebration of resilience, of memory, of art, and of all of you in this room who continue to believe in JANM and the work that we're called to do. And what a year it's been. Our museum, our beloved JANM, was born from one of the greatest violations of constitutional rights in American history. We exist because survivors and their families, your families, believed that history had to be preserved honestly, and because democracy depends on a society that's willing to confront its failures as well as its triumphs. And that feels more urgent now than ever before. We know that history doesn't always repeat itself exactly, but we do know that history has a way of echoing when we fail to listen, especially when we fail to listen. And when those echoes grow louder, institutions like ours are called to respond. And respond we did. Early last year, JANM became the first museum in the country to speak out in defense of civil rights, in defense of history and democracy. And for the longest time, we were the only museum. We were the only museum to stand up and speak out. And the reason we did that was because it was so clear that what was happening, what we were seeing, was defined by the very self-same policies that created the founding of our institution. We made that decision to stand up because we understood something fundamental. If an institution is created to preserve the lessons of constitutional failure, if an institution that is founded to do that cannot speak clearly in a moment when democracy is under strain, then it ceases to fulfill the purpose for which it was created. So for us at JANM, we preserve history because memory is power. It's the power to decide whose stories are told, who tells them, whose histories are remembered, and ultimately, it's the power to shape the future. And it was that conviction that shaped so much of our work in this last year. But tonight isn't only about what JANM stood against. It's really about what JANM stood for and about what we built together. From the I Am Next project, an extraordinary art project that we did in collaboration with the California Community Foundation that projected the faces of detained and deported immigrants alongside Japanese American camp survivors onto public buildings across Los Angeles. Large, unavoidable, human, that challenged all of us to ask ourselves a very simple question: am I next? If one community can be targeted, and your history shows that it's very easy to target one community, if one community can be targeted, who is next? And when is never again now? To bringing 70 teachers from across the country to JANM in the summer to learn about the Japanese American experience in all its complexity, in all its joy, in all its sense of belonging. And we did this with your help after our federal funding was snatched away from us. So those educators will now carry these stories into classrooms and communities far beyond Los Angeles. Our Democracy Center expanded its programming, and we launched Echoes of History to confront the rising authoritarianism and to create space for civic dialogue at a moment when those spaces are desperately needed. And through JANM on the Go, Our work reached communities across the country and abroad. Defining Courage continued its national journey to take the stories of the Nisei soldiers and their courage and sacrifice across the country. With David Ono, the Story Boldly team, and Tamlyn Tomita, we've taken that show to 13 cities. 20 performances, 16,000 people have seen the show, and we've partnered with more than 60 local Japanese American organizations around the country. Yeah. Our exhibition, Pictures of Belonging, continues to reshape understanding of Japanese American art and its place with the American canon. At the Smithsonian American Art Museum alone, more than 1 million people saw that one exhibition. Third act, Tad Nakamura's homage to his father, Bob Nakamura, screened on PBS. In fact, it's streaming on PBS, and at 35 film festivals around the country. Since we started the national tour, the Ireicho has traveled to 30 sites with more than 105,000 names that have been stamped, each stamp an act of remembrance and healing. And at the same time, we've continued to prepare for our future. Very shortly, but not yet, not tonight, we'll be announcing our reopening date. We'll be announcing it in the summer, and with that will be the launch of a new era for JANM. Our new permanent exhibition that we'll install, that we'll unveil when you all come to JANM when we reopen. It's called In the Future We Call Now, Realities of Racism and Dreams of Democracy. We'll reimagine how we tell the stories of Japanese Americans and their place within the broader American story, because it is an American story, it is American history. We're also upgrading our infrastructure that's over 25 years old. We're redesigning our public spaces, and we're building a stronger foundation for the next generation of JANM. And because of all of you, our community, your families, because of your extraordinary generosity, we're able to do this from a position of strength. And here comes the second headline of the evening. I'm thrilled to tell you that we've surpassed our $85 million campaign goal. And we've now raised over $112 million. 41 leadership gifts of $500,000 and above, and nearly 14,000 donors. The figures are extraordinary, but what is much, much more extraordinary is what that represents. What that represents in terms of the communities, your commitment to JANM. And what matters most in all of this is what you've made possible, because it is you who've made this possible. Not only your support is going to allow us we'll have this extraordinary renovated museum, we'll have this upgraded infrastructure. Our elevators operated on DOS, just so that you know. But for JANM's, much more importantly, it's for JANM's future. It's for our education, it's for our exhibitions, it's for our collections, it's for the arts, and it's for our Democracy Center, and for ensuring that JANM remains a national voice for memory, democracy, history, and culture. So you can clap now. At a time when so many institutions were pulling back, we leaned in, and we did that because we knew that you had our back. You, with us, chose belief over fear, commitment over retreat, and courage over silence. Together, we affirmed that this institution, our beloved JANM, that it matters, that memory matters, that democracy matters. And that's exactly why our honorees tonight matter. They embody the values of JANM at its best. They embody the values that JANM seeks to uphold: truth, memory, courage, and the incredible belief that storytelling has the power not only to reflect society, but to shape it. So I'll close with a few thoughts. Civic space doesn't disappear all at once. It narrows. It narrows when memory is softened, when fear becomes easier than truth, when institutions begin to doubt their responsibility to speak clearly. And that's why JANM's work matters. Because what we hold here is larger than history itself. What we hold here is memory. We hold evidence. We hold stories of injustice, resilience, creativity, joy, and belonging. And in so doing, yes. And in so doing, we protect something that is so much larger and so much more precious. And that is the belief that democracy is strengthened not by forgetting, but by remembering. So that responsibility is ours to hold for generations to come. And with you at our side, JANM will continue to meet that responsibility with courage and purpose. So here's to all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome one of Los Angeles' most respected and trusted journalists, an award-winning broadcaster, a devoted champion of the Japanese American community, and member of JANM's Board of Governors, David Ono.
Thank you, everyone. I know what you're thinking. Thank God, a professional. I get it. I get it. I know. I saw your eyes glassing over at the beginning of this program. I get it. I understand. Actually, I kid, because as Frank said, Frank and I are dear friends. This whole rivalry thing, we just love to make sport out of it. As you know, there is no rivalry. Because a rivalry is two people who actually are close competitors, and there is no competition here. In case you don't know, my name is David Ono. I'm the #1 anchor in Los Angeles on any channel, at any time slot, and I've been that for the last 30 years. Give Frank credit. He continues on with that tiny little morning show of his. I forget the call letters of his station. It's a little independent station. Insiders in the industry call it the Witness Protection Program. That's where you go if you want to disappear and never be seen. No, let's give Frank a hand. He tries it again each and every day. Thank you, Frank. I love Frank. But let's get to the business at hand. I'm actually a little bit nervous because I feel like I have the most difficult task here today. I have to do the, well, let me backtrack that. The most difficult task besides Frank trying to sound credible. But I'm here to introduce a dear friend of mine. And if you know me, then you know her, and you know our link. We have emceed probably 1,000 programs together. Tamlyn Tomita and I met in the 90s for the Nisei Week coronation. And since then, she is, yay. I know all of you are somehow connected to that, and I think it's such a beautiful program. But Tamlyn, since I met her, took me under her wing, and I was just young and new in Los Angeles, and she helped me understand this community. And she taught me, or tried to teach me, how to speak better Japanese, which I will not try to prove today. But more than anything, to learn about her legacy, from being a Nisei Week queen, to immediately jumping into a starring role on Karate Kid 2 just months later. And that launched her into this career. If you look at IMDb, it will be page after page after page of these remarkable works of hers. She's prolific. And that start from Karate Kid 2 to today, where she still continues to work, is the most prolific Japanese-American actress in Hollywood history. I feel like she doesn't get enough credit for the work that she has done. But her profession is secondary to who she is. She's a friend of this community. And I think you all know that her humility and her modesty is number one. And so she has been a fighter for those who need representation, who need help. She's jumped into that very difficult world of politics. She's tried to be influential for the cause of this little person, for the cause of the immigrant. I have a show called Defining Courage, which Anne has mentioned here tonight. We're very proud of it. But I'll tell you, and I'm very honest about this, I did it as a speech and then a demo for young journalists on innovative storytelling. I never thought it would go beyond that. And it was two people that came up to me afterwards and said, "What are you going to do with this? You have a responsibility." One was Ann Burroughs, and the other one was Tamlyn Tomita. And they both said, "We will help you put this on the road." And since then, we've done it 21 different times in multiple cities, all sold out. And we just did it last night in Salt Lake City, a sold-out crowd, and it was Tamlyn that walked out and introduced me, this mesmerized crowd, looking at this iconic actress, and then she introduced me, and the show was beautiful. But it wouldn't even exist if it wasn't for Tamlyn, and it wasn't for Anne and JANM. I think most importantly, though, and I need you to understand this, Tamlyn has a remarkable career. She is a famous actress. She was People Magazine's 50 Most Beautiful. Helmut Newton and Herb Ritz asked to take her photos. And yet here she is in our community being our best friend, holding us up any way we need it. She's on the Board of Governors here. And what she's so used to doing is dishing out help. But she's not used to receiving it. And she's having a difficult time coming up here and receiving this kind of love and gratitude. And I think you need to understand that, because that's who she is. She's about giving and not receiving. So when I introduce her, acknowledge the fact that she is a pillar within our community. So ladies and gentlemen, the legend, the remarkable Tamlyn Tomita.
Thank you, everybody. As David mentioned, that we had just flown back from Salt Lake City this morning after a wonderful 21st performance of Defining Courage. And it was beautiful. And I've been crying all day ever since I boarded the plane from Salt Lake because I didn't know what to say except to thank every single one of you here. A museum, as Anne has said, is a collection of memories. However, I believe that it's more deeper than that. Ba-ba-ba-bump. It's a collection of stories. Each and every one of you that I know, that I've had the pleasure of getting to know, of saying hello, of saying welcome, of saying thank you. I share that story, even though it may take only seconds. It's that passing of that energy, of gratitude, of compassion, of understanding. And for those who I have not met yet, I look forward to those opportunities here tonight and our future days together. All I can say is thank you to my stage husband, David Ono. We have been together on stage so many times that people think that we're a set or a couple or something like that. And he has become a great friend for these many years. And I champion his masterful storytelling. I make fun of him and Frank Buckley because all they do is they read the thing in the box on the TV every night, and they do it with a little Georgian personality. But when he performed Defining Courage for the first time in a live theater with live people, he understood the power of what I do, of telling stories to people and receiving the reactions and feeling the power of the circularity of energy, of electricity, of memory, of story. I just have to thank my husband, Daniel Matthew Blinkoff. Though we believe there are no kings in this country, my darling, you are my king. Your love is king. You hold my heart and you hold my hand even at this moment. Many of you may know my father. He was a sergeant in the LAPD, the third Asian American officer hired by Los Angeles City. He was interned in Manzanar. His grandfather was interned in Heart Mountain. I carry that legacy with me. And I carry his work of protecting and serving this great city of Los Angeles always. In the audience next to me is my niece, Akemi Lucas, a Wasian for those of you Gen Zers. But she is carrying on the Japanese and Japanese American culture much more personally and much more beautifully than I am, and I look forward to her blossoming. And last but not least, I thank my mother, of Filipino and Okinawan descent. Maraming salamat po. Ipe nife debiru. Itsumo watashi gambari shimasu ne. Thank you to JANM, to the wonderful institution, this rock that sits here in the heart of Little Tokyo, in the heart of Japanese America, that is led by Bill Fujioka, but is also led by his wife, Darlene Kuba, who was general chair of Nisei Week when I ran. She and Frances Hashimoto and Chris Naito were these stalwart women that I looked up to and go, wow, I need to be like that. To Nisei Week Japanese Festival, of which I had the pleasure of representing. I see you here in the audience tonight, and how we carry Japanese America not only to Los Angeles and Southern California, but across the nation and around the world. Thank you for representing what it is to be both Japanese and American, and carrying the legacy of what it means to be here from Little Tokyo. I thank East West Players and its leadership. Starting with Mako Iwamatsu, its founding artistic director. Shizuko Hoshi, who played my mother in that movie, Come See the Paradise, about the concentration camps that were suffered by 126,000 Japanese Americans during World War II. Thanking Nobu McCarthy, who played my auntie in Karate Kid Part 2. Tim Dang, who carried on that legacy, Snehal Desai, and currently Lily Tung Crystal, playing Flower Drum Song across the street at the Japanese American Community Center, Community and Cultural Center's Aratani Theater. I have so many connections. But I just want to land on a lighter note. I want to thank my mom again for singing "Oh Danny Boy." When my father, a U.S. Army soldier, went to the USO Club, that's how she learned English, was singing American Standard songs. "Oh Danny Boy." They both had a son, my brother, Daniel. I fell in love with a character named Daniel-san in Karate Kid 2. And now I'm married to the best Daniel-san I have, my Daniel-san. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. I'm just blabbing. But I will carry on with a bit of for education next. But I thank each and every one of you for your presence here tonight, for your support, for your passion, for your devotion and commitment to this great institution, the Japanese American National Museum. Thank you for honoring me. I give it back to all of you.
I'm back, and thank you to our beloved Tamlyn and David. It's always such an honor to have them with us. They're both governors, on the Board of Governors of JANM, and it's so wonderful that we've been able to honor Tamlyn this evening. So, I have the incredible privilege now of introducing our next segment. So all of us here tonight understand the importance of the work that we do at JANM to preserve and share the history of America's concentration camps. We're also aware that too many Americans remain unfamiliar with the causes, the scale, and the consequences of this injustice. And when people with major platforms are willing to use their voices to amplify this story, it matters. And in December of last year, MS Now released the 6-part podcast, Rachel Maddow Presents Burn Order. This chart-topping podcast by journalist and author Rachel Maddow, host of the Emmy Award-winning The Rachel Maddow Show on MS Now, sheds new light on the unjust incarceration of Japanese Americans during World War II and the forces and the failures that led us there. An extraordinary work of historical research and analysis, the podcast is the story of the US government's decision to pursue and carry out an extreme and unconstitutional policy against its very own citizens, efforts to suppress the truth behind this policy, and the efforts that it finally took to stop it. Burn Order also honored the voices and memories of this community. We heard from so many people who listened to this and who learned. Through engaging storytelling, Rachel and her producers brought this history to life to people across the nation who may have had little, if any, understanding of this dark chapter of American history. Let's turn to the screen for just a moment.
The U.S. military deployed on the streets of America. Whole communities targeted for removal.
I never believed that America would be doing this.
And when accountability finally came knocking, the burn order to cover it all up. A stain on this country, one that we said we would never repeat.
Rachel Maddow presents Burn Order.
Rachel herself was unable to join us tonight because of a prior travel schedule, but I'm delighted to let you know that she's going to be joining JANM and our Democracy Center in person later in the year. And we look forward to handing her the award then, and to all of you coming. And we'll have her in a space which is a lot bigger than JANM, I promise you. And tonight, we recognize that Burn Order was in fact the work of an extraordinary team of researchers and producers who brought this to life. We're joined by Michael Yawitz, executive producer of Burn Order, and Kelsey Desiderio, supervising producer of The Rachel Maddow Show, both Emmy Award winners. Michael and Kelsey, with Rachel, also produced the podcast Ultra, for which they received the Hillman Prize for Broadcast Journalism and the Edward R. Murrow Award for Outstanding Podcast. I'm so thrilled to present the Award of Excellence to Rachel Maddow and the producers of Burn Order. Please welcome and join me in congratulating Kelsey Desiderio and Michael Yawitz. Kelsey and Michael, come on up. This is the team. This is the team.
Thank you all so much. As you can probably tell, I'm not Rachel Maddow, as was priorly disclosed. But you are going to hear from Rachel in just a moment. She wanted to send along a message to all of you. But please know that she very badly wanted to be here tonight. If she were not overseas at the moment, she would be here alongside us tonight. But on behalf of Rachel and my colleagues, Kelsey Desiderio and Jen Mulroney Donovan, and the entire Burn Order team, I just want to say how incredibly, incredibly humbled we are to receive this award tonight. When we set out to make Burn Order, we did so very much aware that this is your history that we were telling. That there are many still alive today, including in this room, who endured wartime incarceration, and many, many generations that followed who have felt the effects of what their parents, their grandparents, and their family members were forced to go through during that time. What we hoped to shine a spotlight on in this series, especially for those unaware of this history, was how exactly something like that was allowed to happen. Who was behind it, who exactly was behind it, and why they did it. And then what sort of unbelievable heroism and courage it took from those within the Japanese American community to confront this deeply un-American policy and to finally bring it to an end. Our hope was to try to do justice to this history, to help ensure that it's never forgotten, and this honor tonight for us means that hopefully we achieved that. I also want to say that we would not have been able to do the work that we do, to tell the story that we told in the way that we told it, if it was not for the absolutely invaluable work the Japanese American community does, including this museum, to preserve this history for all future generations. The series that we ultimately produced, Burn Order, is a piece of journalism that stands squarely on the foundation of what you all have built here. So thank you for that. Thank you so much again. We're so incredibly honored, Kelsey and I, by your decision to recognize Burn Order with this award. And as I mentioned, while Rachel couldn't be here with us tonight, she did want to send along this message.
Hi, I'm Rachel Maddow from the Burn Order podcast and MS Now. I am so sorry that I cannot be there with you in person tonight. If I were not literally on the other side of the world, I'm telling you, I would absolutely be there with you. But I did just want to send this quick message to tell you how deeply honored I am and how deeply honored all of us from Burn Order are by your recognition with this Award of Excellence. We made Burn Order because of the kind of work that you have done, the history that you have worked so hard to preserve, the stories that you have refused to let fade away or be forgotten or be misconstrued or oversimplified and therefore distorted. We were only able to do the work that we did because of the work that you have done. We say never again, and we mean it, because we know what happened thanks to you. We know its damage and its chaos and the scars it has left for generations, the people who bore the brunt of it, the people who did it, the country that let it happen in our name and then tried to forget it or even deny it once it was done. We know the impact of what happened because you never let us forget what happened. We say never again now because we know that history. And by knowing that history, we know we also have a responsibility to make sure that those who come after us know it too. So me and my team, we have been learning that from you all along. We are trying to do right by this history to help America understand today the way we are risking going down that same path again. So thank you so, so much. The response to Burn Order from you and from so many quarters of the Japanese American community has honestly been one of the most humbling and moving experiences of my professional life. I owe you more than I can say. I'm so grateful. Thank you so, so much.
Congratulations to Tamlyn Tomita, Rachel Maddow, and the Burn Order podcast team. Let's hear it for them once again. And David Ono. First time I've seen him speak without a teleprompter. One of the most important responsibilities JANM has is ensuring that the lessons of history and the stories of Japanese Americans are never forgotten. The bid for education is JANM's way of ensuring this. This critical program remains one of our most effective tools to teach and reach students of all ages, not just in Southern California, but worldwide. Let's take a look at the video highlighting our education program at JANM.
Bid for Education is a special program that supports Title I school children to come and learn at JANM. The fund has touched the lives of thousands of young minds.
We're from a Title I school, so all of my students get free or reduced lunch, and about a third of my students that I brought here have never been to Los Angeles.
And without the support of the buses and waiving the fee to come into the museum, there would be no way that we would be here today.
Bid for Education was introduced by my late father, Senator Daniel Inouye, in 2000 as a response to state budget cuts that threatened bus transportation for school field trips.
Together with the senator, JANM founders, including my mother, Irene Hirano Inouye, believed that empowering the next generation would form the pillar of a stronger, brighter future.
Every year I come to this amazing museum because you have laid it out so beautifully for students in terms of giving them just enough structure and just enough of the prior knowledge that they need to then go discover for themselves, which is the most powerful learning imaginable.
JANM's outstanding educational programs are carefully designed to help students see connections to their own lives in the context of our history.
My hope is that they have an understanding of
what a fear of differences can lead to, and to understand that even though they might seem different, their experiences are actually similar to their own experiences.
It shows a generation that, we're not a part of, but we still get to experiences with all the things that he left behind. It brings us education about the things that happen on internments, but it also educates us to learn from our mistakes and not to do that again in the future.
During our exciting renovation period, JANM's successful virtual visit program has been an essential way for us to continue to engage with students not only in the Los Angeles area, but all across the country. And we are proud to say we have reached 24 states and 4 countries since beginning the program in 2020.
During our renovation period, we are also really focused on working with our core exhibition team to think about what this museum will look like when we reopen. We do really want to be purposeful about designing and developing new tour experiences for the young students when they do come back to the museum upon our reopening in 2026.
This program was deeply important to my father, and I know if my dad were talking today, he would say, there is more to be done. The struggle continues. Now more than ever, your investment in JANM's Bid for Education program is important. This is because now more than ever, our story needs to be heard. This is a history that must never be erased, and Bid for Education supports the team who works tirelessly to ensure that it's never forgotten.
Please join me in supporting this very important program. Please join me in supporting young minds that will one day lead our future. Thank you very much.
So the Bid for Education is an all-hands-on-deck effort. We're hoping every one of you in this room will help to support the program. Every dollar brings about real change and education. We need a powerhouse to get the Bid for Education started, so I can't think of anyone more invigorating and inspiring than JANM's very own Board of Governor and tonight's honoree, Tamlyn Tomita.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can tell now that this is the most important part of the evening because my volume is up and my energy is up in order to get your pocketbooks out, but your hearts open to what it means to support the Bid for Education on part of the Japanese American National Museum. I'm going to put my Rachel Maddow glasses on now. As you saw in the video, ladies and gentlemen, this is your moment. Democracy is not only about voting, it's about participating. The Japanese American National Museum is a bastion of democracy. It is your participation. It is your generosity. It is your support through your bids that directly fuels all the experiences students, educators, guests, patrons, and even us when we visit the Japanese American National Museum. Every contribution that you find comfortable to give helps each and every one of us to expand accessibility, to reach out to more students, and to deepen the impact of our education programs. Please remember, those of you who do give generously, please donate. Generously donating over $1,000 will receive the JANM popular slogan shirt, JANM Strong. I really wish we couldn't have Scrub Nothing. Or the WTF shirt that Bill Fujioka introduced last year. Because we're still in that state, right? Ladies and gentlemen, please remember to tell us your shirt size on your Bid for Education card with your $1,000 donation and up. But tonight, let's do something super duper awesome, super incredible, super terrific, and terrifying. Let us all be strong and let us get this party started. In front of you is your very own pledge card and a pen, because we are going to be,
old school, like this old lady here. We're going to be old school. This is your moment to take out that piece of paper and your pen and consider making a pledge. What does it mean to support the Japanese American National Museum? What can you afford? Knowing that so much monies are being stripped away from this institution and other museums across this great nation. Our histories and stories are being scrubbed. JANM stands strong. JANM will not falter. JANM will not waver through these winds of turbulence, of uncertainty, because what we know is the truth. We know what the facts are. We do not believe in alternative facts. We know what it means to give money and to see it come alive through action. The programs here at the Japanese American National Museum have been stalwart soldiers and warriors of the stories that need to be shared across our great nation. For yes, we are Japanese Americans, but we are Americans in capital letters. For those digital natives, besides the pen and paper, we've got you covered, and we can also ask you to share these stories digitally. There's a QR code in your booklet to make your pledge that way, and you can do the social media to share the stories in order to make your pledge worthwhile. JANM is super duper flexible. We take cash, check, credit card, but no, sorry, we ain't gonna take no crypto here. And ladies and gentlemen, would you please take a moment and look around you? Look around you tonight, for we are joined by the dedicated, committed, compassionate superheroes of this staff and the volunteers of the Japanese American National Museum. These are the educators, the program managers, the curators, the community builders, the administrators, the fundraisers, the totally BTS people, the behind-the-scenes people who are champions, who make JANM's mission a reality every single day. They are not here just to thank you, but to honor your generosity. When you fill out that piece of paper with your pen and you give it to one of these volunteers or one of the staff members of JANM, they will give you their thanks in their heart. They will ensure that your gift tonight becomes an enduring legacy of knowledge, inclusion, diversity, equity, accessibility, and justice. When your pledge is ready, ladies and gentlemen, please wave your card. And if you've already donated online, then wave that phone of yours. Turn that light on. Wave it up in the air. Our dedicated JANM staff will collect and honor your contributions. And as a small token of our thanks, they're going to give you a Star Wars lightsaber miniature size. You will need this at the end of the night, so please make sure your pledge is in. You can also go see Mandalorian and Grogu and bring that light wand if you'd like. But ladies and gentlemen, I would like to now acknowledge and celebrate the generosity of those who have already given. And we're going to read the names of as many donors as I can. This is your chance to make a difference and strengthen JANM's future and commitment to democracy, story, and to memory. Our goal tonight is quite ambitious. We want that thermometer to easily surpass our goal of $250,000. So with your collective spirit, reaching it is going to be a thrilling, awesome certainty. So let's go. Who is ready to be our super impactful Bid for Education leaders? These are the donations of $10,000 and up. Who is out there? Who's got the big pocketbooks? Who's going to make the idea of what it means to be Japanese American and American in this country accessible, available, meaningful to students, teachers, and visitors to the Japanese American National Museum? Let us begin thanking those who have taken that big leap. The leaders who truly support the extension education programs that we could not do without them. We're going to start out and mention those who have pledged at the $10,000 bid for education leader level. And we are going to start off by naming the names of supporters like, who's ever been to Hawaii and not been to an ABC store? ABC Stores, Ford and Marty Fuji, Bob and Carolyn Fujioka, Merv Kato, Carrie or Kari Nakama, Rod and Elsie Nakamoto, Jay Shiba, Wendy Shiba, and Lawrence Pittman, Lucille Tayama, Toyota Corporation, Guy and Audrey Watanabe. Please, if you don't mind, would you please all stand up, $10,000 pledger givers, please. Be acknowledged. Wave those wands. Give them the love in thanks and gratitude for their generosity, for ensuring JANM's continual bid for education support. So now, I know that many of you are generous change leaders here. Who's going to join these leaders? Wave your card or your phone and shout it out so I can hear you up here, all right? But we're going to acknowledge all the $5,000 and up donors. Elizabeth Zamna, thank you so very much. Koji and Angela Fukumura, thank you so very much. Oi, this is a little chisai kore. Oh my goodness, the writing is so chisai. Can you read this? Oh yeah, right. Ron and Tina Tanemura, thank you so very much for giving. Holy moly. Holy moly. Okay, a latecomer, Edward M. and Penny C. Morimoto. Thank you so very much for your donation of $10,000 in giving. I believe the donor name for Simon Morimoto. Thank you so very much, Edward and Penny Morimoto, for your generous donation. And then, ladies and gentlemen, as we are counting all the numerous cards here, I would just like to thank you for your generous support in ensuring that JANM's renovation goes smoothly throughout the year 2026, as we look forward to its opening in the coming months very, very soon. Wow. Thank you for their $5,000 donation to Melanie Halleck. Thank you so very much for your generous donation. Lisa Sugimoto, also at $5,000. Thank you for your heart and your continuous support for JANM. Alrighty, thank you so very much. And at $1,000, we'd like to recognize Tracy Mizoguchi. Gomenasai. Thank you so very much for your generous donation of $1,000. John and Sarah Kobata, thank you for your generous donation of $1,000 as well. Warren Maruyama and Kira Chiffender, in honor of Hideko Tsuji Maruyama. Thank you so very much for your generous donation of $1,000. Tony Masomitsu, arigatou gozaimashita for your generous donation of $1,000 too. Gordon Yamato and Deborah Shiba, thank you so very much for your $1,000 donation. The Mizoguchi family, Thank you so very much for your $1,000 donation as well. The staff of JANM. The staff of JANM, thank you so very much for your $1,000 donation. Jason Yuki, we'd like to acknowledge your generous $5,000 donation. Thank you so very much for your heart and for your support for JANM's bid for education efforts. And continuing on with donors who have previously donated before tonight's event, at the $5,000 level, we have been generously supported by Naomi Sultan. We have also like to acknowledge the champions of education because your bid is more than just a donation, it is a statement. These cards are getting filled up because at the $25,000 level and up, we have the backing of Susan Onuma, the Daniel K. Inouye Institute. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Liz. And we have a handy, oh boy. Thank you so very much, Carol Yuki, for your generous $5,000 donation in check form. Thank you for attending this night's Bid for Education support campaign. So ladies and gentlemen, if you could turn your attention towards the thermometer. I believe we have reached our donation. You deserve a hand of applause. But we are still getting more because at the $1,000 level and up, it is so great to see support, and we would like to acknowledge the donations from Catherine Banai, Leslie Furukawa and John Hayashi, Ken and Joanne Hamamura, Darren Kita, Darlene Kuba and Bill Fujioka, Randall Lee and Stella Jong, Richard and Joyce Morimoto, Jean Nelson, Christine Nishiyama, and Capital Group, the Ito and Ando family, the Roy and Eileen Sakamoto, the Yamagata Foundation, and every contribution brings us closer to this goal, which we have obviously surpassed, lighting up this path of progress. And at the $2,500 level, we'd like to acknowledge the Daniel K. Inouye Institute, but also we would like to honor the $500 and up contributions because we are supported by Lynn Hatashita, Akemi and Misako Kurokawa, Michael and Janet Maloney, Carol Miyahira, Irene Nakagawa, Rick Noguchi, Paula Nohalti, Don and Jeanette Onishi, Grace Yamamura. Who else is with us? Oh, wow. Okie dokie. Holy moly. At the $1,000 level, we'd like to recognize Bill and Margaret Kajiwara, Brian and Jill Wong at $1,000. Thank you so very much. Hiroaki Kinoshita, arigatou gozaimashita. Ruth Nishida, thank you so very much. Alan and Ronalie Mizoguchi, in honor of Ed Morimoto. We'd like to acknowledge the donation from Susanna Tashiro Umai. Susanna Tashiro Choi. Gomenasai. We'd also like to acknowledge Tim and Jeannie Sakata Patterson. Thank you so very much at $1,000. Cindy Abrams, also at $1,000, in honor of Hiroshi E. Hishiki. Christy and Troy Yoshino at $1,000. Thank you so very much. Roger and Helen Okuta Nishida, thank you so very much for your generous $1,000. Douglas and Isabel Sugimoto, thank you again for your $1,000 donation. Herb and Barbara Yuki at $1,000, thank you. Christine Nishiyama at $2,500. Thank you so very much. Grant Karokure and Moshel Karokure at $1,000. Thank you so much for your generous donation. Ken Inoue at $1,000. Thank you, Senator Dan's son. Thank you so very much for your heart and for your ever-ending support. And in memory, ladies and gentlemen, let's just all take a moment to yell at the count of 3, Norm, because in honor of Norm Mineta, a donation was made in the amount of $1,000 by Denny Mineta. We know Mrs. Mineta, the 2 pillars of the Japanese American National Museum. We would like to acknowledge $1,000 by Luan Hiji Shudo, Jack and Janet Mori for $5,000. Thank you so very much, Jack and Janet, for your generous hearts and support to JANM all year round. To George Hirose, thank you so very much for your $1,000 donation. Richard and Masako Murakami, thank you for always being there for your commitment to JANM at $1,000 level. Richard, thank you so very much. Okay? I'll save this for last. Ladies and gentlemen, we are also so grateful to those who gave to this bid. We'd like to include June Aoki, Geraldine Fukai, Eiichi and Alice Fukushima, John Witcher and Patricia Ishida Witcher, Lynn Kwok, Terry Lim, Mirna Ling, Eiko Masuyama, Faye Mitsunaga, Varuj G. Morakanian, Kelly Ann Nakayama, Mia Natsume, Barb Plowden, Jennifer Pulakidis, Luis Ramos, Benjamin Roth, and a few anonymous donors. But we'd also like to acknowledge Margie Wu, Laura Yamamoto, Reed Yamamoto, Michael Yang, Alan Zucker. But I'd like to acknowledge this very, very, very special donation in cash, $8. And we know how meaningful this is because it comes in cash, but it's dedicated to the memory of Mario G. Reyes. Thank you so very much for your donation. It counts as much as the higher levels of donation because we know it is in honor of somebody who is a pillar of the Japanese American National Museum. Okay? We'd also like to acknowledge these late donors. At $1,000, we'd like to acknowledge Hiro and Nancy Sakioka, and $1,000 from Minoru Yamate, MD. Thank you so very much for your generous donation. Ladies and gentlemen, as we continue through the evening, as a quick reminder, you can still make your donation pledge. If you have missed out, please just contact one of the Japanese American National Museum volunteers or staff. You have got all night here. I'm so honored to have served as your MC for the Bid for Education tonight. Thank you very much for your support, for your generosity, for your commitment, and for your compassion. Please stand if you've made a bid today. Wave those wands all through the night. Thank you so very much for your support for the Japanese American National Museum. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we'd like to ask everyone to please take their seats. The program will resume shortly. Once again, we'd like to ask everyone to please take their seats.
Okay, we are going to resume. We'd like to move to a very important part of our evening, so if we could ask you to please take your seats. After you take your photo, if you could please take your seats. Thank you. We hope you're enjoying the evening so far. We want to extend our gratitude to the many who have helped shape JANM over the years. Maybe if someone could hit a glass for me. Thank you. Maybe a few more glasses. Thank you very much. JANM is an institution that recognizes the many great achievements of individuals and communities that have had a profound impact in our shared history. We honor the leaders of today as well as the legacy of our ancestors. And as you know, we share these stories to thousands of school children throughout the nation each year. And we are going to now reveal in a moment, if you could please take your seats and give your attention, because we're going to be doing in memoriam in a moment. And I hope you'll pay the proper respects to the people that we're going to recognize. Please take your seats. Everyone is waiting for you now. Please take your seats. Before we reveal the Bid for Education pledge results, I ask you to join me to reflect on those who have passed since the last time we were together. These individuals contributed to the establishment and ongoing successes of JANM. Performing for us as we reflect is Bennett Brown, a pianist, a music director, and composer based here in Los Angeles, who has worked on national Broadway tours in regional theaters in New York, California, and Utah, on cruise ships around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, please take a look at the video. Thanks again to Bennett Brown for that beautiful music. Thank you, Bennett. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the time has come to see what a profound impact we have when we all come together. The moment we've been eagerly anticipating, the Bid for Education 2026 results. To do the honors, we want to invite Tamlyn Tomita, Jennifer Hirano, Ken Inoue, all the JANM governors, all of them JANM governors, deeply committed champions of the program, to the stage.
What an amazing evening. I'm Jennifer Hirano, and as you saw in the video, this program is about honoring the vision of our founders and empowering the next generation to form the pillar of a stronger, brighter future. Thanks to everyone's support, this room and beyond, this vision will come to life. History can never be erased, but there are attempts to silence it. Your pledge is your voice to ensure history will remain active, and your voice will be honored by JANM's dedicated team who work tirelessly to ensure the next generation will be informed, resilient, and empowered. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for your support.
Aloha. All right. Aloha, I'm Ken Inoue, and on behalf of my family and extended ohana, I thank everyone here for your support for Bid for Education. As long as there are those who remember history, history cannot truly be erased. However, there are those who want some history to be silenced. The stories taught through Bid for Education are our stories, but just as importantly, they are American stories. Your support allows the next generation to draw strength from our history and learn that the injustice of the present must not bring despair. Instead, that injustice calls for action. It calls for action, organization, and advocacy. My father helped start this program, but I keep hearing the voice of my grandfather tonight. Oji-chan used to tell us, they can take away your money, they can take away your property, they can take away everything you own, but they can never take away what you already know. And if you know something is wrong, you will want to right that wrong. And then he would always end by saying, that kind of knowledge is the best gift you can ever receive or give. So, with that in mind, I thank you for your support, and mahalo for helping give us the opportunity to give the best gift that these children can have. Mahalo.
Mahalo nui loa, Jennifer Hirano and Ken Inoue. You guys have surprised, you ladies and gentlemen, have really surprised us, shocked us, and really have gone over the top in your generous donations of not only your monies, but of your heart and your support, not only at this time, but throughout the year. And it is my honor to tell you that we had put a goal of $250,000. The bid for education tonight, up to this moment in time, is $378,623. The auction up to this point is $47,115, bringing the total to $425,700. You've almost doubled it, didn't I? On behalf of JANM and the Board of Governors, its incredible staff, its unselfish volunteers, its administrators, its educators, its patrons, its guests, supporters like you, on behalf of Ken Inoue and Jennifer Hirano, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Mahalo nui loa. Thank you, Ann Burrows, for your leadership. Thank you, Bill Fujioka, and the illustrious Board of Governors, and to each and every one of you for giving us the support of making this institution stand up for America and know what's right, and know its truth, and know its direction. Unity in community. Thank you so very much.
Congratulations, everyone. Thank you for your generous support of JANM's bid for education. Now, as we wrap up our evening, I want to thank all of the amazing people who made this evening truly memorable, including David Ono. Let's hear it for David Ono. Now you know where to find him on the TV dial. Thank you to the JW Marriott team. Did you see them coming in holding trays of 10 plates at a time? Let's hear it for the team here who served us tonight. And we also want to thank the hardworking JANM team, the staff and volunteers. Thanks to all of them. Thank you to our sponsors. Many are longtime sponsors, and we appreciate you showing up for us every year. And the new and returning sponsors, thank you for your support and engagement with JANM. It's through your belief that JANM stays strong. Thank you to the boards of governors and trustees who generously support and steward JANM's mission. And thank you, of course, to all of us for joining us here tonight and also for joining us online. We thank you all for recognizing the importance of JANM's work in our community, both nationally and internationally. Tonight has been an evening of making bold dreams and ambitions toward a brighter future come alive. And now, it gives me great pleasure to